So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second part of the video. If you haven't already, check out the first one because it will make much more sense. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Why do you think mental health has become like such a problem in today's society?
I don't think many people really even thought about mental health, and when there was no science, there was no research, people didn't bring it to the spotlight. Humans are so curious about everything. It's just in our nature to want to know everything, and then it just turns out that it's an actual thing. It's scientifically proven that there is some kind of hormone inside you. There's some kind of day-to-day tendency that you have when your mental health is deteriorating. Why is it giving so much importance at this point? It's just because we just know much more about it, and we know how serious problem it is.
I don't know. Well, Philip, what do you have to say about that?
What David said is actually relatable and it's true. What I would like to add, especially in those times that we live in 2020, 2021, what I saw, people are all surrounded by repetitive actions. They work 8, 16, they go to school, they remember the places in their mind that they've been, they remember the people. And when it comes to the situation that happened, unfortunately to us, March 2020, now I'm relating to this one. We came to school on Friday, and then on Monday, we were told that we have to stay at home for 2 weeks. No one was afraid about this. No one was prepared for that. Out of nowhere, we stayed at home for over 1 year. Here is the whole issue, that people stop having this continuity with their tasks, with their meetings, and they stop meeting people, the basic factor of ourselves. We have to talk to someone. We are created to meet. This is our nature. So we were actually taking away the main factor of our living. This is the whole issue that comes from the lack of motivation, lack of everything. We just feel depressed because we are, out of our frames.
I agree with that. We became a lot more isolated because we had to just live by ourselves in our houses. We were restricted even at some point to meet our friends, so we only saw them through video chat like we are. I'd say a huge impact also has social media. We've talked about it a lot on the previous podcast. Because of the virus, we have been using a lot of social media. Is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Whatever. And you might not know it, but it really does, even the smallest changes, it does impact your brain and how you view as yourself, because you're indirectly kind of comparing your life to the others. And we've talked about it in the past, so I'm not going to repeat my points, but yeah, I'd say there's a combination of a lot of factors, whether it is a lot of isolation or a lot of attention put on social media and screen time on your phone overall. It just leads to you going down in a pit. You're going down in an endless pit, which you don't see a way out of.
That is actually the factor of demotivation. That is hard to avoid it, actually. I was a part of it as well because I installed TikTok. I was 5 hours a day of it. Then I lost my timetable, kind of, because, I was distracted all the time. So here we can one more time relate to sports, that when you take an hour from the day to actually work out, then it's easier to establish the whole plan for the day, because, you have to eat, for example, 3 hours before the training to not feel sick on during the training. So when you eat 3 hours before, then you can do something, prepare yourself, go back, shower, whatever, and then you have free time. And you actually will see that it helps a lot to just, by this 1 hour a day extra, you can establish the whole week. So this is a factor of motivation as well, that you actually feel okay with yourself. I'm not wasting time.
How do we improve mental health and everything overall? Let's just quickly recap for everyone because it's going to be towards the end of the video.
I'll just introduce a small bombshell if I can. I don't know if it's true in everyone's case. Let me know what you think about it. But don't you think that every emotion that we feel is triggered by our own brain? It's just a state of mind. Happiness, struggle, every single emotion that we feel is just a state of mind. It stays for a bit and then it just goes. Sometimes it doesn't even need a trigger to happen. It just happens just like that. Same with motivation. It just is just a state of mind. Does that make sense?
I mean, everything that your brain tells you to, you follow it. You don't really think deeply into it because that's what your brain is stimulating you, because your brain is the main organ which is giving you instructions on what to do and what not to do. If you somehow manage to start controlling your brain and yourself first, I think you could make a huge step.
I feel like that's one of the things that should be emphasized in society, that people need to learn how to train their brains before they learn to train their bodies. They learn to train their skills overall. well, because once your like core in your brain is fully trained to control the states and the emotions that you feel, then I think you can pretty much do anything at that point. I think it's not, and nothing is impossible after that.
Philip, what do you have to say about that?
That's
actually true. I unconsciously did it in the past, because why not? Like, why not to just sit down with yourself and then ask yourself, what is your goal in all of this? Why do you want to start? Like, what will make you happy? And this state of mind will then bring a huge motivation. So this is actually a great point to be included, like in a conclusion. So this is just a perfect advice from all of us.
I think the brain plays a huge role in the things you do every single day. When I mean to train your brain is to either, as Filip said, write down your goals, write down what you want to do, what you need to do, or even manifest things. One of my friends, I think Vanchika, she introduced me to manifesting a few weeks ago, and it actually works. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was bullshit, but it actually works. It's off topic, but I'll still tell you. It's called scripting. So you literally take a piece of paper and you literally write what you want, but in a tense that it has already happened. So for example, you can just be like, oh, thank you universe, or thank you some energy that this has happened to me, I'm so happy, and the emotions that you feel, and you believe that it's gonna happen, and it does actually happen. It's just like really overpowered manifesting, but you know, it's a part of training your brain. It's part of training your spiritual energy. I didn't believe it, but it actually works, and it's connected to training your brain as well. So that's where, you know, mental health, mental is literally brain, where it starts from. So, you know, once I think you learn how to train that, then working out, eating, everything just comes as a domino effect.
So that's great that we have a variety of starting points for everyone. So you may be able to find more part of our talking, so you may just include it. It's a great fact that here we sit for like all three of us sit for like what, 1 hour, and we find many aspects and everything. So if you sit in a bigger group, you may be able to find more and more.
Yeah, overall, just feel free to reach out to us. I mean, we are inexperienced, of course. We're still teenagers, but we're telling you what we have experienced overall, and why it was so great to have Filip on this podcast and talk about this. And it was amazing to us because he reached out to us. He was the first person who actually reached out to us, and he gave us a topic, because we've had people who reached out to us and they were like,
"No, just bring me in. I'll talk about anything."
Yeah, that's
Filip,
in the podcast, like, we actually need people who come in and talk about something interesting. So I don't want any people just coming in just to talk about their life. It's not what we do here. It's like
they want us to generate topics.
Yeah, you need to reach out to us and tell. We're obviously like really happy to have guests on, because that just makes podcasts even more fun. But yeah, we're not here to talk about anyone's personal life. But topics like mental health, especially, it's so important nowadays. So I think we thank Filip to reaching out to us. That's great of you.
Yeah, I'm also thankful because like here in the podcast, like I know you guys, I like you a lot. Like we've been working at school together, we've been cooperating for a long time, and actually here a podcast that you created is a opportunity for me and everyone to talk about things that I like, I enjoy, and then find more people who enjoy it. So I had this idea, like, you know, okay, Chirag, maybe we can do a podcast about mental issues, and he was like, okay, I'm so keen on that, let's do it. Then I'm like, wow, such a great community. So I'm thankful as well. Like, it's been a great time talking to you about it.
We just plan to grow this community and then just try to get as many people on it, and as many people of us just watching, maybe they can learn something about it. So many close friends of ours watch this podcast, and maybe they find some value in our content. Obviously, we focus on entertainment a lot, but we also want to, you know, be a channel where we talk about some things that bring value to people who enjoy more life advice, or just like basically knowing stuff, or just informative stuff. So this is where the podcast comes in.
I think this was easily one of my favorite podcasts we've recorded, because obviously our channel started with podcasts, but quality of those, let's just not talk about it. But it has improved, and we started starring guests beginning of 2021 with Reem. Obviously, that was the first step we took towards engaging the audience, of course. Then Filip, who knows who's next? Maybe someone will reach out to us if they want to talk about another topic. It doesn't have to be mental health or anything. It can be general and stuff like that. But I think, gentlemen, that has been it for this video. Would you like to add anything from your sides?
Yeah, can I add something?
Yeah, go
I've never been in a position of a YouTuber before, so I want to make an outro.
We were just thinking about the outro. Filip is gonna outro the video this time, but go for it, Filip.
So if you want to see more guests like pretty as me, you know, well shaped as me, you want to see more of these two beautiful faces, just please hit that subscribe button. down below. Like the video, write a comment. If you want, just reach out to me. I'll be somewhere in the comments.
Oh yeah, all of our links will be down below in the description.
Filip's Instagram and everything will be in the description as well.
Yeah, so subscribe, like a video, and you know, if you have any questions, just reach out to us. Thank you.